years ago, I was in Sweden, and I was talking with a number of people there about what they were seeing as these major upticks in what they were thinking of as depression, but realizing it was burnout among people in healthcare and in the tech industry. And so we looked at the results, we were talking about the data, and I was, asking about the jobs that these people were coming from. In fact, people even approached me on the street because they recognized me from a newspaper article, saying, this person is here talking to people about burnout, and saying, we're some of those people, and this is why we don't want to go back to that job, kind of thing. I said, Any rate, so this Swedish colleague said, this reminds me of a folk story we have in which, people are out hiking in the wilderness along a rushing river, which comes into a huge waterfall. And they're enjoying the scenery and the river. And then they notice that there are little children, little babies who are floating down the river and about to go over the falls. And they're all like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to drown. They're going to die. We've got to jump in. We've got to help them. And you see more of them coming, and they're saying, oh my gosh, there's more children. There's more little babies floating. And people are calling other people to go in and grab these children and pull them out. And finally, one of the people starts running upstream, and people go, don't go. We have to help us. And he said, I'm going to go and find the bad guy who's tossing them in. So it's kind of like, who are the bad guys that have, or made it possible for all these children to be tossed in, slide in, accidentally fall. And so again, it was an interesting, kind of folk story he told, because it really was saying, find out what's causing the problem. Don't always just say, oh my gosh, let's help people who've had the outcome. So there's a cause, there's an effect. And it's not that you don't deal with both, but if you're only looking at the effect of burnout and saying, how do we give them therapy? How do we give them resilience? How do we give them time off from work? How do we fire them and say, never mind, you can't do this job? Upstream, what is happening to cause that problem? And they were seeing in Sweden these huge spikes, as I said. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. I mean, it's a vivid, vision of how that is, and why you sometimes have to break set and really come at a problem in a different way.